Can you see me? Can I see you? Am I in focus? Hello, how are you? I'm turning the fan off. I hope you know how incredibly sacrificial I am to do this. So, hello, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, hello, I am Katherine, and I am wondering if I'm very crooked and backlit. It is a beautiful, sunshiny, wonderful evening in the beautiful Yarra Valley. So I live in Australia with my husband Ben, and together, just the two of us, have 11 children. I don't have any twins. I had all of my children one at a time. I had 10 of my children in the span of 14 years. Then I had a 4-year gap, and I had baby Luke, who is now 1. And I wanted to film a little video as I head home for the evening, just to say hi and to hopefully leave you feeling encouraged. All right, so I'm a mother, right? And you are either a mother as well or a person, and I believe what I'm about to say to you applies to anyone. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, if you're married or you're not, if you've been married for a long time or little time, or you have to use the translator to understand what I am saying, or if you're sitting there wondering why I have a weird accent and I've said that I live in Australia. So now that we have all of that out of the way, I was thinking again, which is very dangerous, about how sometimes things can feel really, really hard. Now, even though I said it applies to everybody, I will be using the filter of being a mother, okay? And we've established that I have a lot of children as well. There's one of me, there's 11 children, there's one husband. And sometimes I feel downtrodden. I feel struggly. I feel stretched and challenged. And sometimes I think I wish I had a person who would just champion me and say, you're doing great, you're amazing, you're incredible, how can I help you today? I want to come and visit you because I like you. You know, all the rest of it, right? But sometimes in life we don't get that. My husband is wonderful. He is incredible. He loves through action. He is not really big on the, hey, beautiful, pretty, lovely, amazing lady. And it's funny because I do have a person in my life that is like that, and he came in the form of one of my children. So James, who I just dropped off, is absolutely 100% words of affirmation type of person. It is so natural to him to flatter a person, to encourage them, to tell them they're doing great, to tell them they're beautiful, to care for them. And it is such a blessing in my life to have James. Like I said, he's this little 5-year-old kid, right? And I drop him off and he's like, I love you, Mummy. I will miss you. Have a great night. You know, in the mornings when he prays, he will say that I am the most beautiful mummy in the world. And it's quite amazing. And he's 5. He has done this since as soon as he could talk. He would say, I love you, Mummy, you're great, etc. Time will obviously tell if he in some way grows out of this, but man, it feels really good. So I was thinking maybe I could talk to you for a few minutes to say, if you are going through a hard time, often we forget about all the hard times that we previously had that are now in the past. It's only upon reflection that we can go like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like, had a lot less children. And that van, one day, the engine was an engine no more. And we had a very expensive bill to repair the van. And I remember at the time it was really challenging. I think someone got married during that time, and we had to work out how to travel to a wedding in 2 vehicles, and it was uncomfortable. It was a bad feeling. It was worrying. How much are we going to end up paying for this van? And you know what? We don't even have the van anymore, right? I'm just talking about it because when I was trying to think of like an example of something that in the moment was so super intense that now is nothing, I thought of that. So I just find it funny because we're going in life to encounter challenges, difficulties. We're going to have questions that may remain unanswered forever. We may face some kind of medical issue, or someone in our family might have an illness or a condition that is somewhat managed but never resolved. I have spoken in real life and on video about how I am not a fan of prosperity teaching. I think it's very dangerous and unbiblical. And this whole name it and claim it thing, I just think it's unbiblical, right? Because you can't just put your hand up and say, be blessed, and like we're some mini God transferring the be blessed power, right? Prosperity teaching teaches very often that it's all about financial wealth. So does that mean if a person is of a low income, like we are, that we are not blessed? That our faith isn't big enough, and if we had more faith, we would prosper financially more? I don't believe so. So, anyhow, going on that little tangent there, just getting that out of the way, I really feel that I want to encourage you guys. If you are going through challenging times, there may be some decision that you're wrestling with, there may be some kind of fracturing or challenge in your marriage, you may be having extreme challenges with trying to be your own person whilst also being a mother. That's really hard. It's really hard to do because I know me, I've been around children basically every single day since my first child was born nearly 20 years ago. And Ben recently gave me a very stern talking to about how he wants me to go out and see other people that are not my family more often. And frankly, the idea of it is very unappealing. I'm so used to spending every single day pretty much at home, minus my short errands of leaving the house to drop off a person or do food shopping or whatever. It feels frightening. It feels like no, I feel this resistance. And yeah, the biggest thing that I use to encourage myself that I'm not actually the worst mother and person in the world is I always want to be better. I think if you have a desire to do better and be better, you're already like a winner. If you're sitting there thinking, this is as good as it's gonna get, I'm a horrible person, oh well, suck it up, or I'm already perfect, you're the problem, then that's more alarming than someone who earnestly wants to always do better and be better. So, there's ponderings I have. I wonder, will they be resolved? Will I be able to rewire my brain to react differently to things? Will things be better? And I don't know. And it's sort of scary when you think about it, like the unknown. But particularly for me as a Christian and as a believer, I have great comfort in knowing that everything isn't just up to me. Because if I thought that way, I'd really, really think I'd freak out way more than I already do. So, you're struggling, things are hard. I have been there, I'm sure I'll have days where I feel that I'm there again. It's just part of life. We've got to work away at trying to do our best and be better. We've got to try to be careful with what we see and what we do and what we interact with. We've got to be careful because it's important. Like, we only have one brain, right? And if we let the whole thing become like scrambled eggs, it's really hard to unscramble the egg. Like, picture it. Picture scrambling an egg in a bowl. And then me saying, can you put that back together again? You'll be like, oh no, I just simply can't. So, it's one foot in front of the other. It's forming small habits. It's trying your best to be your best. Realizing you'll never be perfect. Realizing that it's going to be okay. Realizing that sometimes things are really hard. Also realizing that any person you see, including me, that you sit there thinking, oh my goodness, if only I could have it as together as she has it. You know, why am I jovial, happy, smiley, showered, and the hair brushed, and I have 11 kids? Why am I not 300 kilos and haggard looking and frazzled and irate and angry and crazy? Why not? Like, that's the expectation. That's the expectation, that once you have a whole bunch of kids or even a few kids, you just hang it all and let yourself go. I'll tell you why. Because I have realized to not worry about 90% of the things that I previously used to freak out about. I have relaxed and chilled out. I still feel like I have such a very long way to go, but I've come a long way already, and I don't want to discount that. So that's it. That's my little chat for you. Hopefully you feel encouraged. Hopefully just seeing a person, like, I'm a normal person, right? I'm a regular normal person. I can tell you I'm now exceedingly hot because I turned the aircon off. But other than that, you know, we're not that different, are we? So I will go and I'll set a timer so that I remember to pick my child up from their thing, and I will see you again soon. So until then, don't be so hard on yourself. Do your best, and that's it.